Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling coherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gabriel Knight 3, Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned, Blind. Now, I tracked Buccelli to this place, and I guess I'm going to go and check out what kind of shenanigans is he up to.
I'm sure I saw a moped parked around here. I recognize the rock. Pet cemetery? I don't think so.
Okay, so there's something buried here.
Yep. Time for some elbow grease. Larry's manuscript. Why am I not surprised? And it still has its plastic cover, too. That should give us a few opportunities. That's me, the trusty sidekick.
Okay, so I guess Mosley stole it from our room, then Madeline stole it from his, and then Buccelli stole it from her, but I still don't know what to do with the red serpent. Like, is me finding this enough to, like, continue the plot? Am I supposed to give it back to Larry or to Gabriel?
Why would I want to show that to him? I get the feeling Gabriel wants to talk to Mosley alone.
Yeah, I still don't know, like, how does that help me in reality? I guess I'll go to town, because I still don't know what to do. I guess I'll also go back to the Orange Rock. Maybe there's something more there, because, as I said, that's kind of closest to red that I can get. But this doesn't look like it. This is a very small sort of area.
I'm sure I saw a moped parked around here. I recognize the rock.
Yeah, there's literally nothing else here. I don't think...
Thankfully, Bukele didn't bury it very deep.
Can I talk to Larry or to the prince?
I think I'll let Gabriel deal with Prince James.
So what is it I'm supposed to do now? Like, I don't know what's the deal with the red serpent.
I think Jean's a little over-involved with his guests. I can't say I blame him. There's not much going on with the locals. I know this may sound weird, but have you noticed anything unusual lately?
Huh, how I wish. The days, they make up the life monotonous in a town so small as this.
Well, he's back in the lobby now. Wonder where he was earlier.
I guess now that I have the binoculars, maybe I should do some more looking around. Maybe I'll notice someone else doing something suspicious. What's the difference between...
It's Sonier's Tour Magdala. I think Tour Magdala means Magdalene Tower.
Okay, fair enough.
But the worst is yet to come. How many have pillaged the house, using the most sacred for purposes most foul? I turn north. Facing me, I see unwinding endless by its coils, the enormous red serpent mentioned in the documents, rigid and bitter. The huge unleashed beast at the foot of the White Mountain becomes scarlet with greed and drunk with stolen and profaned communion. Deliver me out of the mire. Turning to the north. Okay, that must be north of the site. I see the red serpent, rigid and bitter. Must be talking about some kind of landmark feature. I think Sagittarius is talking about some kind of local landmark, a snake figure. I ought to be able to find it on the map.
Yeah, there is a road that looks like a snake, but it's neither red nor particularly like lightning. So I am very confused right now. Like, is this a... Like, is this a road? I don't think so, I guess, because maybe it's a river. Although, it's difficult to tell. It's something. I'm pretty sure this is a railway. But this... does it start near Mount Cardo? No, but it does go near it. No, it's a different thing, I guess. This is a different... So wait, which even am I trying to... So, is this a railway? Or what? I guess not, because if it was, there should be a railway over here. It goes through Cuiza, so it has to be something else, but I'm not quite sure what. And I'm not quite, like, will it help me if I mark stuff on it? Like, if you wanted to be really generous, you could say, this is like a head of a snake? No, but I think I went the wrong way actually. Because it should go near the mountain, right? For it to make sense.
Yep, that's it. That's the red serpent. That is weird. It must point out something.
Okay, I don't understand this. I don't even know what it is, and how was I supposed to know that it's red? Is it a river? Payrolls. Can I search that? I assume that's a town. Let's have to go forward in the riddle.
I am aware of the scent of the perfume which impregnates the sepulchre of the one I must release, cursing the profane in their ashes, and those who follow their ways, returning from the darkness while making the gesture of horror at the abyss into which I had plunged. Here is the proof that I knew the secret seal of Solomon, and I had visited the secret places of the queen who watches over the king. Take heed, my friend. Do not add or take away one iota. Think and think again. The base lead of my words may contain the purest gold. Let he who has the understanding use it with wisdom.
Okay, so the lead of my words might contain the purest gold, and do not take one iota. So is it another anagram? You transmute lead into gold. So
I want to take a break from Le Serpent Rouge for a while.
What? So what am I supposed to be doing?
One more stanza, Capricorn. I am aware of the scent of the perfume which impregnates the sepulchre of the one I must release. Cursing the profane in their ashes and those who follow their ways, I returned from the darkness while making a gesture of horror at the abyss into which I had plunged. Here is the proof that I knew the secret seal of Solomon and had visited the secret places of the queen who watches over the king. They must be talking about going down into the cave. Take heed, my friend. Do not add or take away one iota. Think and think again. The base lead of my words may contain the purest gold. Let he who has the understanding use it with wisdom.
Hello?
Hey, Mose, you're back.
Yep. Gabriel and I, we had it out.
You did?
Uh-huh. Guess my little secret is, out in the open now.
Huh. Is Gabriel here? I've had some real breakthroughs with Sydney.
Yeah, he wanted me to come and get you. He's holding a meeting in the dining room.
A meeting? Well, this ought to be interesting. What's up?
Just a minute, Gracie. Why don't you take a seat? All right. Fun time's over. I want to know what's going on, and I want to know now.
I have no idea what you mean.
Nor I.
Then let me give you a clue. Earlier today, I had a certain unpublished manuscript in my room. Someone took that manuscript, and that someone was...
Well, it was Mosley originally.
Mosley. Shortly afterwards, it was stolen from the first thief by...
Then it was Madeline.
Madeline Béthanie. The second thief couldn't hold on to it either. It was stolen for the third time by... Vittorio Buccelli.
And the third thief disposed of it by... burying it.
Really?
Yep.
But this is slanderous. You cannot prove a word.
I think he can.
What?
Where did you get that, you?
Thief. Come now.
I admit it. I did take the manuscript, but I didn't do it for my own personal gain or anything. I'm CIA.
Aha! That explains it.
Outrageous!
God, Mose. Congrats.
Thanks.
Mademoiselle Béthanie, what's your excuse?
I do not know what you mean.
Don't you? Let's consider the fact that you have way too much equipment for a tour guide.
But I am technically minded.
And lethal. My guess is French Internal Secret Service.
You are much too smart for your own good.
Oh, and you, signore? Or should I call you father?
It is not illegal for a priest to travel without a collar.
Oh, but you're not just a priest, are you? You came on a train from Rome, yet you lied. You said it was Naples. Why tell such a pointless fabrication unless you were hiding something? Like the fact that you're with the Vatican.
That is not a crime either.
But stealing manuscripts is.
Perhaps it is time for you to reveal your secrets, Gabriel.
Sure. I'm a private investigator. I'm here about the kidnapping of Prince James of Albany's infant son.
James Stewart's son has been kidnapped?
When did this happen?
You really didn't know? Either of you?
No.
Certamente no. I came only to report on any activity in the area. The Vatican feels that there are certain subversive parties who are trying to fabricate stories. Perhaps even go so far as to stage certain finds. Plant material. Naturally, the church is anxious that anything of the sort be prevented and exposed.
Perhaps you are right, Signore. But we believe that there is something buried near Rennes-le-Chateau.
That's why you were given this assignment?
I have been watching Rennes-le-Chateau for a few years now. There are certain political interests involved. Interests which might not be working for the long-term stability of the present French government. Besides, if there is an archaeological discovery to be made here, such findings should be controlled by the French authorities. We want to make sure nothing gets smuggled out without our knowing.
I thought you needed excavation permits to do any serious digging.
Hypothetically, but several parties have applied for permits. We can only deny them for so long.
Mose?
The CIA thinks there's something going on over here with the Freemasons, the Priory, and the Knights of Malta. You name it. We've got to make sure our interests are being protected. You know, the good old US of A. Oh, they sent me on a tour as a kind of an audition, I guess. They didn't want anybody with legit CIA credentials. You know, anyone who could be traced. But I'll probably be starting full-time when I get back.
And the digging, monsieur?
Oh, intelligence got that tip from somewhere. I was just supposed to, check it out.
So it was the CIA who infiltrated our computer system. We thought it was the Priory. It is not the first theory we have had, I am afraid. Our cipher experts work on it when they can, and it appears this was another failed attempt. Right, monsieur?
I sure didn't find anything.
And now we can go, yes? I assume you have not found your kidnapper among us?
Doesn't look it.
You were very masterful, but you have not gotten everything from me yet. Perhaps you should come by my room and try a little harder, hmm?
And I always thought the idea of chastity belts was cruel and sexist. I finally get it.
I doubt they invented one strong enough for Madeline. Thanks for finding the manuscript. Where was it?
Bukele buried it out in the valley. I saw his moped from Blanchford.
Good job, Grace. As usual.
Prince James is at the Villa Béthanie. He wants to see you.
I bet.
And there's some real progress on the treasure. With Sydney, I was able to...
I'll, come up later, okay?
Suit yourself.
Now, isn't this majorly counterproductive and possibly also illegal for Mosley to just reveal that he's a CIA asset to multiple foreign nationals? Like, outside from Gabriel and Grace, the other two are not even American. Like, isn't that something you should keep sort of in confidence?
I just want you to know you're doing a great job.
Working in intelligence is a little bit different from working in police, for example. Because it often relies on the secrecy.
That must be Prince James's car. Larry's here.
I do appreciate your returning the manuscript, Mr. Knight.
If I'd known what Mr. Sinclair here was up to, I wouldn't have taken it in the first place.
Well, what's done is done. But I think it's time we had a serious conversation.
Absolutely. Does the grapevine motif mean anything to you? Viticulture in general?
Yes. The wine of communion represents the blood of Jesus, and the grape represents his body. And the grapevine, in some circles, represents the desposony, the house of David. You have heard Jesus called the fruit of David, I assume?
Of course.
Where did you see such a motif, Mr. Knight?
Oh, it's in the church. So, you think the kidnapping is a response to Sinclair's manuscript, to its positioning you as the head of the bloodline?
It's not just the manuscript, but yes.
Have you received any demands from the kidnappers, or?
No. Look, I'm willing to give up my claim forever if that's what they want, as long as my son is safe. But we don't even know who to contact to make such a concession. The Priory swears they're not responsible, and no one else has come forward. My God, I'm at the end of my rope.
Perhaps it's not political.
If I let myself even consider that it might be the night visitors, I can't imagine what they would want with...
I'm sorry. I know how awful this is. What are these negotiations between the Freemasons and the Priory about?
Because of our common heritage, there's certain wisdom and property that's shared. And now that the dispute over the bloodline heir is coming to a head, these things must be settled.
Do you consider yourself to be a bloodline descendant, Prince James?
Well, it may sound foolish to you, but a belief in our lineage and the responsibility that it brings has been the motivation behind everything the Stuarts have done for centuries. You see, we take our heritage very seriously.
You're trying to get permits to excavate out here, aren't you?
I don't know where you heard such a thing, but I admit we have been hedging our bets in case negotiations go badly.
What about the Priory? What do they have that you want?
The Priory controls the treasure the Templars couldn't take with them to Scotland because it was embedded in the very landscape.
The treasure of Rennes-le-Chateau?
Yes, but they're not to touch it until we've agreed on a treaty. You see, we have things they want too.
What kind of property do the Freemasons have?
We have a few of the treasures that have always been sacred to the descendants of Moses.
Like what? The Ark of the Covenant? Something like that?
I'm not at liberty to say, but the bloodline treasures are dispersed. Whoever takes the mantle, in the end, will want them. All of them. What about my son, Mr. Knight? I'm willing to tell you certain things, but please, have you learned anything new?
I've narrowed it down to a few suspects. In fact, I was going to follow up on that right now.
Very well. Mesme and I will continue our own efforts. We'll see you back here this evening, then.
Absolutely. And, try not to worry.
I do appreciate your tenaciousness, Mr. Knight.
Yeah? I've had shots for that, but never mind. I'll see you.
What an extraordinary man.
I'm not sure if that was genuine, or if that was a compliment. So, where is it I'm going? I guess I'll go and try to talk to Grace about what she learned, because, it's a bit ridiculous how important that is, and Gabriel is just brushing it off.
I've done enough talking to my old pal lately. Mosley's right. She is a babe. I really need to figure out what I'm gonna do. I need to decide what it is I want to have happen before I talk to her about it. I don't want to screw up again. You've made some progress with Sydney, you said?
Yeah, I did. Several times.
Well, what'd you find out?
Oh, lots of stuff you probably don't care about. But it did help me find an entrance to an underground cave. I think Wilkes was onto it before he died.
That does sound promising. Maybe we can go over it later. I have a few last things I want to do first.
Sure.
Can we talk about the case for a minute?
Of course.
I've been thinking about our list of suspects. Larry and Prince James are Freemasons. The Abbé is Priory. I think we can cross them off.
Right. Bukele is Vatican, Madeline is French Internal Secret Service, and Mosley is, God help us, CIA.
Yeah, makes you think about renouncing your U.S. citizenship, doesn't it?
I've survived Gingrich, I can survive this. But anyway, it's starting to feel like the end of 10 Little Indians. There's hardly anybody left.
There's still Emilio and the two British gals.
Come on, they're harmless. Well, okay, they're not exactly harmless, from a sociological standpoint, but they are certainly not kidnappers. There's also Montreux. I deciphered Le Serpent Rouge, and it showed a red serpent on the map, with its tail wrapping right around Chateau de Serres. It really... well, it's pretty creepy.
I agree. He's our best suspect at the moment. I'll go check out Serres again. In the meantime, you keep an eye on Emilio, Lady Howard, and Estelle.
All right, but be careful.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to Montreux's house. But before I do, I'll check if Arnaud is somewhere around. Like in the church or at the tower, watching something. Indeed.
It's our best bud, your pal and mine, Mr. Priory of Sion.
Excuse me, Mr. Arnaud.
Hello, Mr. Knight.
I've been meaning to ask you something.
And what is that?
I've been meaning to ask you about your association with the Priory of Sion.
Where did you hear such a thing?
Prince James's man? See, I'm working for Prince James. I came here to see about the kidnapping myself.
I see. Well, I'm not really surprised, though I would have expected more polish from Prince James's agents. Ce n'est pas d'importance. You will learn nothing from me. The Priory would never stoop to kidnapping a child.
And tell me, what sort of things would the Priory stoop to?
I have nothing to say to you about the Priory, Mr. Knight. But whatever you hear from Prince James, remember, it is their side of the story.
The Priory does have issues with Prince James, though, doesn't it? Political issues?
What could you understand about such matters? We have been working for centuries to get the bloodline on the throne of France. Do you know, we almost succeeded. Marie Antoinette was Desposny, and she had a son who would have been king. But the damned revolution ruined everything.
Yeah, revolutions can really fuck up your long-term conspiracies. I take it the Priory doesn't like the idea of the Stuarts regaining power.
In Scotland, perhaps. Not in France. Not over the European Union. The Habsburg-Lorraines are a much more critical line. Besides, we could hardly accept a Scot on the throne.
I see your point.
Oh, those bagpipes can get annoying. The Priory is trying to get official permission to excavate in the area, isn't that right?
Yes, but so are the Freemasons. Naturally, we have an advantage being French.
And what exactly are you planning to excavate?
Far more learned ears than yours have been denied that knowledge.
Really? Including yours? Have they told you what it is?
Really? Quel toupet.
So there really is a treasure?
Beyond measure.
Well, so why don't you just go in and take it?
The Templars lived a long time ago.
You don't know where it is, do you?
There are certain disadvantages to keeping information in the hands of a chosen few. When the French Revolution occurred, the Abbé here was the guardian. He was forced to flee to Spain. His records were lost for decades. Then Saunier rediscovered them. He was a greedy bastard, and he was tormented by the Great Secret. He offered fragments of the documents for exorbitant sums. He fabricated and destroyed evidence, and died without revealing what he knew.
That's why you've leaked information, isn't it? You hoped someone would solve the riddle for you.
There is a season for everything, and the season for the unveiling is coming very soon. One way or another, the treasure will come to light.
What is it you're so determined to unveil?
One day soon, you shall know.
Excelsior Montreux, the owner of Chateau de Serres, is he a Priory member too?
Not at all. Why?
Oh, just wondering.
Now excuse me, Mr. Knight. Oh, and I do wish you luck in finding the infant.
Oh, talking to the Abbé is like dancing without a floor.
Okay, so I guess I am going to Montreux's house. At this point.
I'll go get the Harley. Now that is downright rude. They're closed. Uh-oh, it's Marceau.
The chateau is closed, Monsieur Knight.
I noticed. Well, I didn't see a buzzer down at the gate, so I had to come up. Now, I hate to bother y'all, but I'm leaving the area today, and I really need to ask Mr. Montreux just a few more teensy questions. Oh, please.
Oh, wait here.
My apologies, Mr. Knight. It is a very bad day for visitors.
Boy, I've had some of those. This is probably really inconvenient, but I'm leaving France today, and I was hoping to feature Sarah's in my article. You made quite an impression on me.
Did I?
Oh, yeah. What I was really hoping was to snag a few more bottles of that Merlot. My editors won't let me give anything 5 stars unless they've tasted it, and boy, that Merlot deserves 5 stars.
Oh, well then, I applaud your taste. Of course I can get you more bottles. I'll have Marceau open the tasting room.
Actually, I'm guessing, well, you guys have a wine cellar. Am I right?
Yes.
Could we go down there? and get the wine, it'd make a much more romantic opening for my article. I could just make it up, but as you said yourself, God is in the details.
I don't believe I said that, but I couldn't agree more. I'll take you down myself.
Oh, wow. I knew this place would be great. I was reading about those Roman mines they had around here. Does this cellar attach to anything, like that?
No. Ah, here it is, the 76 Merlot.
I've been thinking about what you said. About how the breeding of grapes is like the breeding of people.
That is not what I said.
Oh, it's a terrific analogy. Maybe even the angle on my new story. So would you say this Merlot is like, say, a king of wines? Or just a gorgeous camel? Look at that. God, am I an idiot?
No, please, don't bother. It's...
Ow!
Oh, my. You cut yourself.
Oh, it's nothing.
You are asking about the wine? No, not a prince. Our little Merlot. Then again, it's not exactly wine in the box either. But yes, it's eminently drinkable.
Right. Oh, gosh, look at the time. I have that flight to catch. Thanks. See myself out.
Okay, is he going to chase me? Because obviously he was getting kind of thirsty for my sweet juice. Which...
There's a wine tasting room in there. Pretty good wine, too.
Which was very much the point of that whole ruse.
A garage. I wonder what's parked in there.
Wait, have I... I have never tried to open that door. In fact,
I wonder if there's any chance that door could be... Well, I can always try.
I have never even seen it, because I was looking at it from this angle. That's interesting. I have a feeling I should be fleeing rather than looking around.
It's open. Uh-oh. There's a car in here, but I can barely see it. There's something up there.
Oh, is it bats? That would be vampire appropriate.
What's up there?
Most sacred. After tonight, the adepts will converge in Cairo.
Oh, shit.
Voila, Mission Knight. What are you?
Look, it's the man from the train.
Where could he be? It overlooks the street. At least I can keep an eye on people while I'm working in here.
New email.
To mix blood distills gold. Mixing blood to create the elixir of life. The Philosopher's Stone. Montreux and his pals are into some weird blood cult thing. I think they're the vampires.
Okay, that's hardly a revelation at this point. No hints, because I guess I know what I have to do is go down to the cave. So maybe I'll just happen across Gabriel.
I don't have anything to say to him right now. It's the Three Stooges, Curly, Moe, and Smutty.
Hi, Grace.
Hi. What are you guys doing?
Oh, we hold the Ecumenical Conference of Spies.
However, we already have one American present.
Not the one you want, though, huh? Oh, well, can't win them all.
Bit.
Where is Gabe, by the way? Any news?
I haven't heard from him. I'll let you know if I do.
Okay.
I don't want to talk to them again right now. Simone works nights. I can't imagine what Jean does in the evening. In fact, I'd rather not try. Hi, Simone. Have you seen Mr. Knight?
No, not this evening. Is he, missing, mademoiselle?
Missing? Oh, no, I didn't know if he had gotten back yet. Thanks. Oh, God.
Oh.
I wonder where he's going.
I should probably follow him.
I wonder where he's going.
Please.
The reverence is not for you.
I know that.
You should not be here. You should not be anywhere near this place.
They do not know I'm here.
You had better hope not. We have enough to worry about with the baby.
Has there been any confirmation that he's the Kanosh Kanaya?
No, the signs are ambiguous. We won't know for certain until he's old enough to show his will.
But if you do not know, they cannot know either.
I'm certain they do not, but they will take his blood anyway. And it may be enough.
Of course, we must stop them.
How? You have been watching Mr. Knight?
Yes, you were right about his family. He has his own destiny to fulfill in all of this, and the girl has found the entrance to the temple.
It may be too late. We're almost out of time.
Not until midnight. I have tried to prepare them as best I could, but it is almost cruel to send him in.
Do you foresee something?
I have told you. I will not foretell the outcome, but the forces arrayed below will be terrible.
He will not be sent alone. When can we start?
Give me time to speak with him. I will call you at the villa.
Very well. Till then.
Oh my god, what is going on?
So he said something about preparing him? So I guess maybe he was leaving all of those notes for Gabriel and Grace so that they could accomplish whatever is there to be accomplished.
I cannot believe what I just overheard. I'm not even sure what I just overheard. I want to, believe me, but not here.
Will he just go to his room?
I think it's time we had a talk, Mr. Baza. You left that copy of Le Serpent Rouge at the museum for me, didn't you?
Yes.
And the little notes at the center of the circle and the arms of the hexagram.
Guilty as charged.
I don't get it. If you wanted to help Gabriel and I, why didn't you just be open about it?
I must be very careful that certain people do not know that I am here.
You're part of the secret brotherhood, aren't you? You and Mesme.
You are correct about Mesme. He is with the Brotherhood, but I am not. I haven't been for some time.
And Montreux, he's one of the others, the ones who steal the blood?
Yes. They call themselves adepts of the holy blood, but they are vampires, pure and simple.
I don't understand. Why doesn't the Brotherhood just stop the vampires?
If you are to understand what we're up against, you must know the whole story. Listen. The secret brotherhood are the weavers of the bloodline. It is a process intricately linked to the stars. The birth of the Divine One, the one the Brotherhood calls the Kenosh Kenaya, can only happen during certain planetary alignments with the constellation Osiris. Just over 2,000 years ago was the last such configuration. The Brotherhood was expecting something profound. They tried frantically to read the signs and omens. There were many branches of the bloodline, even back then. One was the House of David, and it was to this branch that the signs pointed. So the Brotherhood used their influence and a bit of magic to convince the current heir, Joseph, to marry his betrothed before the date prescribed by Jewish tradition. Mary conceived. The signs for the birth were auspicious, a conjunction of two planets, Jupiter and Mercury. This created a star, a certain sign of success. But the Jewish king, Herod, heard of the birth of a Davidic heir and threatened the infant's life. The Brotherhood took the family to Egypt, and the young god was reared there, tutored in the ways of the infinite.
So Jesus was the Kenosh Kenaya?
Oh yes, he was what we had awaited. The open portal between man and the infinite. The one who could see the fabric of the universe and alter it at will.
Wow.
But he was also a Jew. Jesus insisted on studying the Torah, learning his heritage. As he read the tales, he became convinced that he was the Jewish Messiah. From the Brotherhood's point of view, it was a limited ambition. And yet, who were we to tell the Divine One what he was or was not?
What happened?
He returned to Jerusalem. A few of the Brotherhood went with him to watch over him. What we didn't realize, perhaps because we were not Jews, was that Jesus intended to fulfill the prophecies. All of them.
What about the vampires? Where do they come in?
I will try to explain. You see, the Brotherhood collected blood samples for study and testing before they selected brides. There were certain magical rites performed. There had always been rumors that some of these priests had dared imbibe the blood to steal power for themselves. Of course, such things were taboo, and when these rumors surfaced among the initiates, they were harshly scolded. But when Jesus was being reared in Egypt, there was a young initiate who envied his strange abilities. He began to whisper to his friends that to truly serve the Kenosh Kanaya, the priesthood ought also to be immortal, just like the Kenosh Kanaya himself.
Jesus was immortal?
In a sense, he could reweave the fabric of his body at will, just as he could those of others. He could have healed his own wounds, but he chose to perform the sacrifice the prophecies demanded. It wouldn't have been much of a sacrifice had he rescinded.
So what happened with the young initiate?
His name was Sine, and one of the boys he persuaded was Ali, son of the Brotherhood's headmaster. Ali wasn't a bad boy, but he loved Jesus and liked the idea of living with him forever. Fortunately, he approached his father about it one night. When the headmaster heard of the heresy, he exploded. Sine and his followers were expelled. Only Ali remained, having repented his ignorance. But Sine and his followers didn't give up. Sine grew bitter. He decided they would steal the blood. He kept his eyes on the conclave, but could never get close. When Jesus left for Jerusalem, they managed to keep it secret from Sine. He did not arrive in Israel until it was too late.
So Sine's group, the Adepts, are still after the blood.
Even worse, they found it. Jesus had heirs, 2 sons. That was the one thing he did agree to do for the Brotherhood's sake. His sons were only human. They'd missed the window of Osiris, but they survived to have descendants.
Now the window is open again.
Yes.
Is the baby, Charlie, the Kenosh Kanaya?
We do not know. It depends on how well the vine has been woven. It depends on many things. Sadly, it may not matter. Where the Brotherhood has woven for 2,000 years, the Adepts have tasted. The bloodline grew too broad for the Brotherhood to protect each descendant every minute. And as the vampires succeeded in stealing here and there, they grew in power and in corruption. They will resort to anything for the blood, blackmail, murder, even black magic.
They've been mixing the blood as you have, but in their own bodies.
Exactly. And they've been doing it for so many generations that they've changed, physically. It is a result of the blood, but even more, the result of corruption. You see, the power they have is stolen. It is not theirs. Even so, they are strong. The Brotherhood does not taste of the forbidden fruit. They're no match for the adepts anymore. And the baby's blood may be enough to tip them over the threshold, even if he's not all we think he might be.
So, what will happen if they take his blood?
Montreux will be king of the world. Rex Mundi incarnate.
God. Ah, it's Gabriel. Thank heaven.
Thank heaven indeed. We have quite nearly run out of time. May we meet in your room, Ms. Nakimura?
Okay, I don't actually have that much to say about that. It was very long-winded, and I'm kind of like, okay. Obviously I'm not religious, so to me it's neither sacrilegious, nor shocking, nor even particularly weird. Like, it's not... For me, all of those religious stories are fantasy anyway, so this is just a different branch of that. I'm indifferent to that story. In fact, I do, now that I'm arriving at the conclusion of it, I do feel like the path to the conclusion was actually much more interesting than the conclusion itself. I kind of guessed some major story points of, the Grail being the descendants and all that at the very beginning of the game, and the whole point about the prince wanting to be king of the EU makes no sense and is ridiculous. But this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.